Dear students, today I am going to discuss chapter number 2, Business Services. Business Services chapter is divided into two parts, and in this we will discuss one by one. See, commerce includes trade and other auxiliary services. Auxiliary services means supporting services to business commerce, and these services are banking services, transportation services, communication services, insurance services, etc. So these are all known as business services. Here, see, insurance services, warehouse services, transportation, postal services. Postal means communication, banking services, all these services. One by one we will discuss it. First of all, insurance. It is very important service provided by insurance companies. Here, with the help of insurance, as you know, by taking insurance, policyholder can get compensation against financial loss due to that risk. So, risk taking capacity of businessmen increases. So, insurance means what? So, insurance, it is written agreement, written contract between two parties. Two parties means one is insurer, that is insurance company, and other is insuree, that is policy holder. We can say person who is taking insurance and paying premium is known as insuree, and insurance company, that is insurer. So insurance means it written contract, written agreement between two parties through which the insuree pays premium periodically. Premium that may be yearly, half yearly, quarterly, monthly, pays premium as against insuree getting promise from the insurer that he will be compensated as per the risk covered and amount decided for the financial loss. So in insurance, it is special type of agreement between two parties, agreement between insuree and insurer. Here insuree, policyholder, pays premium periodically, and against that he is getting promise from insurance company for getting compensation against financial loss due to that covered risk. Insurance policy means what? Written contract. Insurance contract in written form. Insurance contract in written form. Insurance documents, insurance contract in written form, that is known as insurance policy. At home you can check if you have taken insurance, life insurance, your own life insurance, father's life insurance, mother's life insurance. So you can check, you can see the documents, that is known as insurance policy. Even motor vehicle insurance, car vehicle insurance, scooter insurance, property insurance. So you can see the documents, that is known as written document of insurance contract, that is known as insurance policy. See, here one more thing. Insurance, very important statement. Insurance does not remove the risk but compensates for the financial loss against that risk. It means what? If you have taken insurance, it means you cannot be free from any risk. आपने इंश्योरेंस ले लिया कार का, तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि कार का एक्सीडेंट होगा ही नहीं. Whatever it will be happen in future, that will happen, definitely happen. But in insurance, by taking insurance, we cannot remove the risk, but we can get compensation against financial loss due to that risk only. So insurance does not remove the risk but compensates for the financial loss due to that risk. जो जब होना है वो तो होगा ही, लेकिन इंश्योरेंस लिया होगा तो अपने को फाइनेंशियल compensation मिल जाता है, सपोर्ट मिल जाता है. So this is important in statement, and for 2 marks it can be asked in the examination. Explain the statement. Insurance does not remove the risk. So very important. Now insurance, it is an agreement. It is a special type. It is special type agreement. So it is special type contract. So therefore there are certain principles of insurance Here 4 points are given: principles of insurance, principle of utmost good faith, principle of indemnity, principle of insurable interest, and principle of subrogation. 4 points are given. Out of these principles, some principles are not applicable for life insurance, applicable only for general insurance. We will discuss one by one. Principle of utmost good faith. It means, see, insurance, it is contract between two parties, insurance company and policy holder, insurer and insuree. So there should be trust on both the sides, on each other. Whatever information asked by the insurance company or not, policyholder should provide complete and correct information to the insurance company. Same thing, other side, insurance company should clear all terms and conditions. There should no any hidden condition. There should no any hidden term. So insurance companies should clear all terms and conditions in front of policyholder before taking insurance. So utmost good faith means vice versa. There should be faith in each other. So it is very important principle of utmost good faith, because of it is depend on trust. It is agreement depend on trust of both the parties. So utmost good faith. Second is principle of indemnity. It means principle of indemnity means insurance is not to make profit. Insurance is only to get compensation against loss due to covered risk. So if you have taken over insurance or under insurance, then you can get proportionate compensation. For example, if the value of a machine is 5 lakhs rupees and you have taken insurance of 7 lakhs and machine is due to accident or fire or due to any other reason, machine is total loss, then policy holder can get compensation up to 5 lakhs, 100% compensation. Even he has taken insurance of 7 lakh, that is known as over insurance. Insurance is not to earn profit, so he can get full compensation. Second example, if 5 lakhs machine is there, insurance is taken of 5 lakhs and loss is there, then he will get full compensation. A machine is of 5 lakhs and he has taken insurance of only 3 lakhs. It means under insurance. It means policyholder is ready to bear the 40% loss because of policy of only 60% amount. Now, if due to accident total loss is there, then that person will get compensation against that loss up to 3 lakhs only. Now, instead of total loss, suppose in that machine loss is of rupees 1 lakh, then in first case when you have taken over insurance, you will get compensation up to 1 lakh only. In equal insurance, you will get compensation up to 1 lakh. And under insurance, you have taken 3 lakhs insurance against the value of 5 lakhs. So, against the loss of 1 lakh, you will get compensation of only 60,000. Proportionate compensation. So, principle of indemnity means insurance is not to make profit. It is just for to earn, to get compensation against loss. Yes, this principle is not applicable for life insurance. Principle of insurable interest. See here, person who is having insurable interest in the asset can take insurance of that property, that asset. It means owner of the house, owner of the property can take the insurance, but tenant cannot take insurance because of that person does not have insurable interest in that property. So insurable interest should be there. If any property on that property, financial institute has given loan, then that financial institutes can take insurance of that property because of there is a financial interest, insurable interest. So first is principle of utmost good faith, second is principle of indemnity, third is principle of insurable interest, and fourth one is principle of subrogation. See, after getting compensation of loss, the damaged part, ownership of that damaged part will go to in favor of insurance company. For example, your car, due to accident, it was damaged, you got compensation of that car. Now the ownership of that car, full loss, I am talking about the full loss. Now ownership of that car, damaged car, will be of insurance company. Same thing, suppose partially damaged, if you have taken compensation of spare parts and other, then that scrap ownership will goes to the insurance company. But this principle is not applicable for life insurance. After payment, insurance company cannot claim for the body of that insured person. So practically it is understood, because of life insurance there are sentiments. So principle of indemnity and principle of subrogation, these two are not applicable for life insurance, and all four principles are applicable for general insurance. So in short, principle of utmost good faith means trust, faith on both the sides and provide correct and complete information. Principle of indemnity means principle is only for to get compensation, not to make profit. Insurable interest, here owner of the asset can take insurance of that asset. Other person who doesn't have insurable interest in that asset cannot take insurance of that property. Principle of subrogation means after the payment of compensation, the damaged part ownership will be transferred in favor of insurance company. So automatically that will be of insurance company. So here four are the principles of insurance. So it is very important for 5 marker. Write meaning and discuss principles of insurance. So you have to explain everything in detail. It may be of 3 marks, 4 marks, 5 marks, like this way. After discussion of meaning and principles of insurance, now types of insurance. Different types of insurance we can see. Insurance policies provided by the insurance companies. So types of insurance we can classify mainly into two parts: life insurance and general insurance. Life insurance can be classified into two parts: whole life insurance and endowment policy. General insurance can be classified into 3 parts: goods transport insurance, fire insurance, and other general insurance. One by one list is given. You can read, you can learn the list, you can try to understand. We will discuss it one by one. Earlier it was only one insurance company for life insurance, Life Insurance Corporation of India, and for general insurance company, National Insurance Company, Oriental Insurance Company, United Insurance Company. But at present, due to the government policy and all, many private companies are also providing insurance policies to the customers. So more and more competition is there. Earlier, foreign investment in insurance sector was up to 26%. Now, foreign companies also can invest up to 49% capital investment in insurance sector. So it is government policy. So now private insurance companies are available and government insurance companies are also available. So accordingly we can. So types of insurance: life insurance. Whole life insurance means what? Here Policyholder pays premium amount periodically up to the certain period or whole life. He can decide the premium paying term for 25 years, 30 years, 35 years, 40 years. Till that period, policyholder will pay the premium amount to the insurance company. But after the death of that policyholder, his legal nominees will get the policy amount with a bonus, loyalty and other benefits. So in whole life policy, policyholder pays just a premium to the insurance company, and benefits and all his nominees will get after the death of policyholder. So it is known as whole life insurance policy. Endowment insurance means here insurance company provides such type of policies. Policyholder can take insurance policy for the certain period, for 15 years, for 20 years, for 25 or for 30 years. Up to that period, he can pay premium. As soon as policy periods over, insurance company can pay the amount of insurance policy as well as bonus, loyalty, everything to the policyholder if he is alive, or insurance company can pay to legal nominees. So in both the case, in whole life insurance policy, after the death of policyholder, nominees will get the amount. In endowment policy, if policyholder is alive, then he will get amount of insurance policy, bonus, other loyalty and everything, and of the completion of that policy period, or before the time he is not alive, then nominees will get the amount of that insurance policy. So it is endowment policy. So in whole life insurance, policyholder himself cannot utilize the money, he is just paying the premium. In endowment insurance, if policyholder is alive till the completion of time period, he can get the money, otherwise nominees will. Now general insurance, goods transport insurance, fire insurance and other general insurance. Goods transport insurance, see, we can in transportation we will discuss. Goods can be transported by three ways: sea route, air route and road, means land transport, road, rail transport. So for marine insurance, here it is the oldest form of insurance because of goods can be transported by sea route. It is very economical, cheapest, but time consuming, and more risk is also there in the sea route. Through the steamer and all, we can send goods to one country to other country. So to overcome from that risk, marine insurance is there. So for the sea route transportation, we can take this insurance. Lloyd's of London company is the oldest company who started this marine insurance. Air insurance. Now for the fastest transportation, we can use air transport, but it is costly. So precious goods we can transport through air transport, and we can take insurance of this also. So it is known as air transport. So charges in air transportation are more. Railroad transport, for the land route, we can transport goods through railway or by truck, tempo and others. So we can use land route, and here railroad transport because of during the transportation, during the transit, there is a possibility of robbery, theft, accident, all. So we can cover all these risk factors in the insurance policy, and if due to such risk, if damage or loss is there, then we can get compensation from the insurance company against that loss. Fire insurance, due to fire, suppose loss is there, then we can get compensation. Other general insurance, many types of insurance policies are available, we can take. So insurance against loss in the business, you can see your profit and loss account, your balance sheet and average profit you can know. Now you can take insurance against loss due to certain reason. If loss is there, then that can be covered by the insurance compensation. So insurance against loss. Health insurance, we can say Mediclaim, health insurance. By taking this insurance, unfortunately any disease there is and we are supposed to go to hospital, hospitalization expenses and everything can be covered in this insurance. So Mediclaim or health insurance. Insurance against theft, jewelry or whatever it. So we can take insurance against theft. Due to theft, if loss is there, then we can get compensation. Animal insurance, especially farmers can take insurance of cows, buffaloes, bullocks or other animals and all. So group insurance, yes, companies, institutes where many people are working together, then company or institute or enterprise can take group insurance of all employees collectively by paying premium. Unfortunately, any problem is there to any one employee or more than one employee or all, then can get compensation. So group insurance. Vehicle insurance, either your 2-wheeler, 3-wheeler, 4-wheeler or truck or whatever, you can take insurance of your vehicle. Due to accident or due to any reason, if loss is there, then we can get compensation. Third party insurance, which is very important, it is part of vehicle insurance and it is compulsory. Third party insurance means here, suppose I have taken insurance of my car, that is full insurance, and due to accident, suppose loss is there and due to that accident any other person's vehicle is damaged or other person is in problem or due to accident, suppose fracture or any other problem is there, then if full insurance is there, then the hospitalization charges and everything insurance company will pay to that person, and my loss also insurance company will pay to me. And in third party, suppose I have only third party insurance, then might not get compensation, but whatever loss is there of that third party, that expenses insurance company will pay. So here risk of third person can be covered in third party insurance. So it is compulsory. Accident insurance, not only vehicle, not only road accident, but in other form, in factory or everywhere, we can take accident. We can say PA, personal accident insurance. By paying minimum amount, we can take insurance of maximum and we can get compensation accident. Insurance against natural calamities, earthquake, tsunami, cyclone or any other natural calamities. Against these calamities we can take risk, we can take insurance policy. So insurance of loyalty against fraud, insurance against fraud. Employees compensation insurance and sports insurance. Sports person, suppose footballer, he can take insurance of his leg. Singer can take insurance of his voice. Dancer also can take insurance. Like these specialities. So here different types of many and more insurance policies, policies provided by the insurance companies for the benefit of policyholders and all. Now dear, so types of insurance we have discussed. Now dear insurance, you can discuss this topic with your father, your parents. You can go to insurance company for visit. You can see insurance documents of your vehicle, car, two-wheeler or life insurance policy and everything. You can see the insurance premium receipt and all. So try to understand. Dear students, now see, many more private insurance companies are working here in India, but at the time of British rule, privatization was there in insurance. But after independence, on 19 January 1956, life insurance business was nationalized. So be careful about the date. on 19th January 1956, Life Insurance Corporation of India (LIC), Life Insurance Corporation of India was set up by special act, and life insurance business nationalized. On 1st January 1973, the general insurance business was nationalized on the basis of General Insurance Business Act of 1972. So, in 73, general insurance was nationalized, and in 1956, life insurance was nationalized. To control this insurance business, to control insurance companies and all, one supreme authority is set up by the Government of India, that is known as IRDA, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority. IRDA, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority, IRDA, was set up in 1999, and IRDA, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority, is supreme autonomous and legal institution which manages the regulatory development activities in the field of insurance. Now, foreign insurance companies can invest directly in Indian insurance companies. Earlier, foreign insurance companies were eligible to invest up to 26%, but now from 2015, foreign insurance companies can directly invest in Indian insurance companies up to 49% in Indian insurance companies, and everything, all insurance companies are controlled and managed by IRDA. Objectives of IRDA, which is autonomous authority, so certain objectives are there. Objectives of IRDA, so policy holders get more choice, competitive premium rates, more benefits. So ultimately, policy holders can get more benefit. This is the main objective of IRDA. Second, to promote healthy competition among insurance companies to improve services at a lower premium rate. So, by the control of IRDA, insurance companies can compete, healthy competition is there, then insurance companies provide better services at lower rate of premium. Mobilize more resources of economy due to the development of insurance sector, the opportunity of employment, other services, and also ultimately economic resources can be mobilized. To bring self-discipline among the insurance companies and to create a mechanism for complaint redressal. Suppose you have any policy holder is not satisfied and have complaint, then can go to complaint can go to IRDA for the satisfaction and for the solution. So this is the meaning and objectives of IRDA. It is supreme authority. So now you can prepare it. So meaning of insurance, principles of insurance, types of insurance, and Insurance Regulatory Development Act. We have discussed all these points. It is very important topic.